Using a utility knife, cut along the dotted lines at the top of the carton and remove the carton top. Locate the operator's manual and review it for setup instructions. Working from the handlebar end of the carton, use the knife to cut down the sides of the end of the carton. Fold the end down flat to the floor. Remove the wooden bracing from the end of the carton. Using side cutters, remove the ties securing the chute rod to the handle and set it aside. Place the shift lever in the F6 position to release tension on the shift cable as you assemble the handlebars. Pivot the handlebars up. Make sure that the control cables are in the grooves of the roller guides. Tighten the hand knobs to secure the upper handle to the lower handle. Make sure the alignment tabs on the upper handlebar are in the holes of the lower handlebar. Remove the cotter pin, wing nut, and hex screw from the chute control head. Remove the clevis pin and bow tie cotter pin from the chute support bracket. Remove the packaging from around the discharge chute. The chute end of the chute control rod is round. The handle end has a D shape. Notice that the flat of the D is in the same plane as the crank offset in the rod, and the holes at the round end of the rod. Insert the round end of the rod into the input of the chute control head. Push the rod as far into the chute control head as possible. Place the upper chute onto the chute base. Make sure the control rod is under the handle panel. We will attach that later. Secure the chute control head to the chute support bracket with the clevis pin and bow tie cotter pin removed earlier. Finish securing the chute control head by installing the hex bolt and wing nut. Check that the cables are properly routed through the cable guide on top of the engine. The cables should all be to the left of the discharge chute rod. Insert the chute control rod into the socket below the handle panel. Line up the flat surface of the rod with the flat surface of the socket. You may need to rotate the rod until the rod and the socket line up. Position the chute control rod so the hole in the front of the rod lines up with the middle hole in the chute control input. Insert the cotter pin. If more engagement is needed where the rear end of the chute control rod fits into the D-shaped socket, slide the chute control rod rearward and fasten it at the chute end using the rearmost hole. If manual chute rotation is needed, slide the chute control rod forward and fasten it at the chute end using the forwardmost hole. Remove any rubber bands that were used to secure the control cables during shipment. Engage the steering controls and roll the snow thrower out of the carton. Cut the cable tie that holds the electric starter extension cord to the rear of the auger housing and store the cord for later use. Remove the protective plastic sheet from the top of the auger housing. The spare shear pins are stored in the handle panel and are secured with hairpin clips. Insert the spare shear pins in the storage holes on the handle panel and use the hairpin clips to hold them in place. We will cover shear pin replacement in the maintenance section of this video. A chute cleanout tool is fastened to the top of the auger housing with a mounting clip. Never use your hands to clear out a clogged chute. Shut off the engine and remain behind the handles until all moving parts have stopped before using the cleanout tool to clear the chute. If your snow thrower came with drift cutters, remove the 2 screws and wing knobs that hold them to the sides of the auger housing. Turn them so that they extend up and forward from the auger housing. Attach them with the screws and the wing knobs. The tires are overinflated at the factory for shipping purposes. Check the tire pressure before operating the snow thrower. Do not exceed the manufacturer's recommended tire pressure. Refer to the sidewall of the tire for recommended pressure. Keep equal air pressure in each tire to keep the auger housing level.